line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Hello again, folks, and welcome back here live on PTM Racing TV, where we're live here tonight with the Pottlez Wrapz Racing League Truck Series Division. And I do apologize right up front, right here and right now. I am running very, very late, as you can probably tell. So, thankfully, we are only in formation lap. We're getting all settled up right now. So, with that in mind, we are having the ability to check out the gridding here in just a minute. Let me go ahead and real quick. We got to fix some things up, though, because apparently the producers forgot to change things when they were supposed to. So, my deepest apologies there. Give us 1 minute here as we'll get to your gridding order here in just a second. Currently getting set up here on the show. Kind of last minute rush, if you will. This is a little bit hectic, to put it nicely. Gotta love showbiz. You gotta love live racing around here. That's one thing for sure. Alright, looks like we are all set up now finally on our end. So let's get down to the gridding process here tonight as we present to you the Pottlez Wrapz gridding order here as a starting lineup. It's Robert the Rattlesnake Khan. The 21 is outside. It'll be Keith Checkmate Taylor in the number 8. Run number 2, it's going to be Matthew Hoffman. The 84 is outside. Cindy the Closer Taylor in number 7. Run number 3 is going to be Jeffrey Oaks. And the 20 is his outside. The Throttle, Chantel Bottle in the 5. Row number 4, it's Warren Young. And the number 1 is outside. Nick Kern in the 69. Row 5, it's Jason Reif. Last Super Late Models feature winner there. And the 54 is outside. The 77 of Bob Hutchings. Run number 6 is Jeffrey Todd Tufts in the old 77, 72, and it looks like final stars will be Brian Healy in the 83 to round out the field. 12 drivers are locked in with us here tonight. We're getting set ready for the racing here on the show, getting gridded up, taken care of here. And again, if I sound kind of rushed, I do apologize, but like I said, had no time to get it. Had no time once we got settled up. We were basically on a rush. But thankfully we are here and we are live and ready to go right now, so we're set and ready to go. These drivers are going to come around right now, get all settled up, kind of get the trucks nice and taken care of here. And I am going to say right now, there are a few drivers here tonight that I have been told are using a little bit of different stuff out here tonight. They're using some different equipment. Some things we are not sure of or what they've got, but I can tell you right now the 5 will probably be one of those to keep your eye on. Rumor has it around here she has a new piece of equipment she is using down on those pedals. And that seems to be one of the things that a lot of pro drivers use around the circuits, around the track. So it will be interesting to see if it does them any good and some on their help here. A lot of new truck schemes out here as well being ran, which is some pretty sweet looking rides on a lot of them. As they'll pace them around. Pace truck is finally coming off out of turn 4 this time by, ladies and gentlemen. That means it's time to go racing here. As we head them up out of turn 4, set them up. Robert Kahn will lead the way. to the green flag, and we are up and running now. The green is up. We're on the go. 110 laps tonight here as these drivers will go right on the gate, out of the mark here. We are fighting their way down a position. Off to a strong start, a little bit of a side-by-side battle between Chantel and the throttle and the number 1 of Warren Young. Nick Kern now looking to possibly pull himself into position. This is really where you're going to see most of the drivers go all night long, which is that bottom line. It's the only way they have a chance of really hammering it in, staying in a nice consistent flow. And the 20 Jeffrey Oaks kind of falling back just a little bit. Here comes that 5 of Chantel. Doing a pretty good job holding that bottom line. Look already, looks kind of surprised that she's actually hanging on that bottom line as well as she is with that apron. Giving her using, giving everybody fits, but it seems as though those new pieces of tech that they're using must be working all right as they come down around out of turn 4. We're already off to a hot start here as Cindy Dakota Taylor and Keith Checkmate Taylor are moving their way up to the front with Robert the Rattlesnake Khan in their sights. Khan right now trying to hold off their 2 heavy hitters here, the closer, Cindy Taylor and old Checkmate. Kind of ironic that you got Checkmate and a closer around here. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. The Rattlesnake right now has the early lead, though. He is not giving that up anytime soon. We'll get more in depth about how hard these drivers are going to be running here on the track and what they're having to come up with and fight against throughout this course, this race. But really the main thing you got to know is just it's all about timing and how you pace yourself around the track. And you're seeing it all right here and now and how much they're doing just as. We have a little bit of a side-by-side duel between the 1 and the 5. Looks like the throttle walks off just a little bit. Bit of problems, as a good friend of mine would once say around here. In the onboard camera with Halford we go right now as you see Chantel starting to get back into it a little bit there with the number 1. I'll tell you one thing, just trying to hold that bottom line as much as trying to hold any line around here is easier said than done with these corner bank turns and these straights and the way they are angled out. They're a bit of a misconception around here. There's no real straight edges or any lines out here that are going to give you a better run off the other. It's really just make sure you stay that bottom, and then as you come off, make sure you rise quick enough to that top side. But when you get up there, there's a wall protection there, so it can be a little bit dangerous if you're not careful. The Rattlesnake right now, Robert Kahn has the early advantage here. Has a pretty good start on his own case. In our chat tonight, Melissa Koltunsky Taylor has joined us in saying, "Go Cindy." Melissa, I hope I said your middle name right there, darling. Moving their way through the field here on the front stretch. Warren Young right now doing what he has to try to keep up with the pace, keep up with the momentum. Jeffrey Oaks, number 20, has a pretty solid run and a half here. And speaking of Cindy, here comes old Cindy, the closer here. Talk about a fight she put up a couple nights ago. There, actually last night in the Grid Finder Invitational, working with Chantel, Jeffrey, and Matthew Hofford as a team rather than drivers at Daytona when they were battling for the win and battling for supremacy. I can officially say that that night Pedal to the Metal did get the fan vote for the most popular team, so congratulations to Pedal to the Metal for getting that. And again, I would say awesome work from the drivers out there that did that night, man. There was some great battles and grid races in between. It's all on the Grid Finder Invitational. You can find it on their Twitch site. Appreciate everyone who's come out here so far and has been with us right now. It's been an honor to call these races when we can get them going, but right now, currently, this track is just eating and tearing away drivers left and right, giving them some troubles or two. You can see going up to the high side, the throttle losing a little bit of power, and now Nick Kern moving in and taking that position up from her. Marching through the field right now currently. It looks like we have a little bit of a battle coming up here for the top 2 spots. Cindy and Keith going at it, as well as Jeffrey in the old 20. The Oaksy camp now moving in a little bit, looking for a possible sway in position. Keith Checkmate Taylor trying not to fall victim to it, but old Jeffrey does not play too nice to that. He does have a little bit of damage on that rear end there. Looks like maybe just a slight little fender bump there, I would say. I don't know if maybe that is just me or if that is actual fender damage there. Yes, it is. You can see it right there on the bottom right corner there. You can see that little fender bumped up just a slight nudge it's kind of kicked in a little bit. You can see it pretty well as Cindy moves up the momentum and loses it. Jeffrey Oaks will move into second place now as Robert the Rattlesnake Snake Hahn commanding the lead by 3 3/3 of a second. But now I know what you're probably thinking, wait a minute, 3 seconds, that's it? That's all it takes? Like, you know how fast these guys are going? Like, why am I even watching this? Let me explain, though. I mean, even though it may seem like that's not a lot of speed, that is a lot of time away from each other. That is technically, on technical terms, that is a lot of time away from each other when it comes to these ovals, because you have to make sure every turn is perfect, make sure every spot is done just right, or you're pretty much going to go for a ride around here. As we go on board with Todd Stuffs, I'm going to show you guys a little thing or two about this track. You see how they narrow in on that bottom line, trying to keep a nice little straight pace? And you see right there, it looks like Hoffer kind of backed off a little bit, lost a little ground. Todd had to stay right in the middle of the bottom end. He couldn't let the truck drift up, but watch as he comes out of turn through. He just lets it drift all the way up to the outside wall. And that's where he gets all his momentum back from. And that's why right now I would feel he has a pretty good line of running and racing here, but he is still nowhere near the pack. Leading back in right now, and even the throttle having more troubles than I think we were realizing. She's all over the place right now. She's falling back 2 spots in this case. Now, we're just going to let you guys know again that she did say that to us a little while ago here on the studio. They did say down there the crew has been working on a brand new set of equipment, brand new pieces of tools, and they said that tonight, they were a little bit worried about how much that was going to make a difference and how it was going to really handle out there. So that'd be a kind of a crazy night. And wait a minute, a lot of smoke coming out from the hoods there. Something gone completely wrong on our end. And it looks like that's Brian Healy. The 83, massive damage there on that machine. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's go, hold on a minute, pull up the PTM Instant Replay and take a look at this one. Caution is out though. Let's see what happened here. So before we figure out the caution issue, see here, Healy comes out of turn 2, I believe, right there, yep. Drifts up the slight bit. Oh, he just smacks that wall completely in half, man. Manages to recover and save it, but you can see that truck just completely tore it up. That was the old PTM Instant Replay. Brought to you by a lot of good friends out here that have helped support the show. We'll get into them a little later on right now, but currently we're under our first caution of the night. Or are we? I thought we were. No, I guess we are not, actually. Well, producers, you told me we were under caution. That doesn't look like they're under caution. Well, I guess they're saying we're our bad. We just read what was on the chat board. Well, next time, don't read what's on the chat board. Pay attention to what's going on the track, you dorks. Well, anyway, while the drivers get all situated out, hopefully Brian Healy and Warren Young can get fixed up after their little situations. Bob Hutchings, Matthew Hoffert, and Jason Wright are all looking to try to get back into this one and try to get something going. We'll find out who's going to reign supreme when we return here on PTM Racing TV.
want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the show right now as we're currently still a little bit of a fever pitch frenzy. As you see, Cindy the Closer Taylor and Nick Kern are going to have a little bit of a tussle or two out of this one. Laps being poked in more and more. Unfortunately, Warren Young, we're getting word, blew the motor and cannot compete and continue the rest of the race, so he is out for the night. A tough break there for him, unfortunately, in the situation there. Right across down on the back straightaway here, you can see Nick Kern now all of a sudden moving into the field zone. Cindy the Closer Taylor couldn't quite hold him off there, but we know the closer has always a plan, strategy in mind. But Oaksy, I don't know what the heck he's doing out there, but you hear that little bumping and banging, a little cling cling. That means he's getting the wall protection. And I know he's driving a camo machine that's got all that designed up, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to drive it like an actual redneck there, Jeffrey. I thought you're from Pennsylvania, not from the Midwestern like me. Well, I guess he has other plans here as the 83 now. Looks like that is Brian Healy now starting to move back in. She's smacking the wall around there. You can see him actually just tagging that thing here. I'm not sure if the truck's just completely died off and has nothing left to it or what's going on, but it is smacking that thing around more times than I care to count. Healy on a fresher set of tires, making a nice little position as Nick Kern comes around here out of turn 4. Kern possibly going to give himself a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a fight around there. Giving himself a nice little get around there as you go side by side down out of turn 2, down to the ally, turn 3 here. Oaksy goes right back into the wall protection, nowhere in sight to get out of. And Nick Kern, he's in second right now. I'm actually quite impressed with this kid. He's literally gaining Colin by a mile here. Colin had a 6-second lead on second place here, but Kern is catching him quickly. Colin seems to be slowing up really badly here. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's trying to save his tires or what he's trying to do here, but currently saving fuel or saving tires seems to be his objective, but I don't think he realizes how much he's slowing down because Kern's catching him quickly. If you want to look at the lap times right now, here's a look at this. Look at this. This is going to be all green here in a minute. Bam. 2-second gain. That is insane. That tells you a lot right there about what you need to know. Stanley Chadwick comes in, he's saying a 3-second lead is around 700-foot lead. Big gap for just 3 seconds. It is. It really is, man. But when you do 6 seconds, well, times that by 2, and there you go. You got too much in the way as a caution now actually does come out, so there is a caution flag. So everybody that was in that little mess or two will get cleared up and situated out, but I believe that was the end of the stage, considering what lap we were on. So Robert the Rattlesnake Khan will win that stage and take home stage number 1. I do like the stage format. I know a lot of folks out there do not very much, but I will say this, it's kind of in asphalt racing. I've never been a big fan of that long, stretched out over the pacing time of racing, because sometimes it's just no one gets close enough or gets anywhere near anything, and sometimes it's hard to really accept the fact that someone has already pretty much ran away with that race. Now it happens in dirt too, but the difference is on dirt is a short track style version. So short track racing, basically if you catch up to someone too quickly, all of a sudden someone behind you, if you get slowed down enough, they'll catch back up and get you quickly. And asphalt-wise, I do love the short tracks as well because the same discipline and disciplinary falls in line, which makes it very interesting and good racing sometimes. Lee Puttister has ruined it on in. They're saying, go, Chantel, go. Well, right now, currently, she's got a little bit of work to do. She's going to be a few laps down at the moment. She'll get her lap back and all that, but it's going to be interesting to see how things play out and how they will go. And when we will return here to PTM Racing TV, we'll see if the rattlesnake can once again come through and pull away with this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got more action coming here from Dover. Tonight's race is brought to you in part by Maconi Setup Shop. Only the best and fastest setups come from Maconi Setup Shop. Visit up their website, MaconiSetupShop.com, to find the right setup for your next race. By Matt Mills Racing Team, best Xfinity team out there, sponsor supporting Pottlez Wrapz Racing this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing Team, visit them up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out their merchandise store on Facebook. By Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, the suppliers of our trophies for the season champs. And if you're looking to get the best hardware gift for your next event, you better visit up bobscustomtrophies.com today. And I did say hardware. Somebody's coming home with one of these babies in the mantle. And trust me, I've actually had the pleasure of grabbing them and holding them. Those things are real weight. Those ain't light. They're awesome. So thank you again to Bob's Custom Trophies for helping supply up the trophies. By SimRacingMerch.com, the perfect way to show your passion for sim racing. By GridFinder.com, the best way to find a new league. Filter your search by race day, your geographical region, gaming platform, racing sim, and car class. Well, you need a broadcaster or live redesigner? Search GridFinder, the home of online racing. By the ButtKicker, best of performance for feeling on the real tracks of the virtual world. The ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. By FEGPC.net, matching your want with your wallet. FEGPC.net will always work with your needs to build the right PC at the right price. By Brandon Minnick Sim Racing. Be sure to go on over to his page and support his merchandise and iRacing journey. Thank you again to Brandon Minnick for being a supporter of Pedal to the Metal. By Pottlez Wrapz. Pottlez Wrapz, the affordable design delivery that if you need to match your vehicle style on the track, well then visit up Pottlez Wrapz for just that. The most affordable designs made at your leisure. And by GreenTech Energy, the leading the way in solar company Flare. GreenTech Energy is the natural choice. And speaking of natural choices right now, I would say the guy up front here is probably one of my usual natural choices to always be in the hunt and the contention for these races. That being this guy right here, the 77 of Bob Hutchings. This cat, man, I don't know what it is with him, but he just seems to dial those things in and dial all the power under the way he needs to every time he comes out, and it always seems like he has an opportunity or has a chance to redeem himself and get into victory lane. But as of late, ever since Chicagoland, I haven't really seen him pull off too much out here or really get a big run or two out of it. I think he's been kind of more quiet about things. He did tell me earlier today, though, that he is planning to change that. He wants to start showing everyone why he is here to stay and why he can be one of the better drivers out here and take to the veterans. Well, right now we're going to get the veterans and the drivers all lined back up into position and grid them up. Keith Checkmate Taylor will have a say or two with Bob on the lead here. Bob will be the race leader on the start, but Keith will have an opportunity on that outside line to make something work. Nick Kern right now, currently, probably in my opinion, the most impressive on the final lap, on those final laps there when he came to pushing his truck around. I think he was really testing the waters to see if maybe there was something there. And in my opinion, there was definitely something there. But my question is will it last? Will it stick around the whole time? That remains to be seen as we're under our first caution of the night. Thank you again, everybody that's tuned on in here so far. We got a big crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of folks rooting on for some specific drivers. Seen some love for Chantel earlier. There's a little bit of a thing or two for Cindy and Keith Checkmate, mainly for Cindy though. No offense there, Keith. A lot of folks rooting on in. Obviously, I don't have my favorites or any personal drivers around here. I always just like to watch these guys and gals just go at it and do what they love, and that's kind of the whole point of what we do here on PTM Racing TV is just try to give everybody a chance, give them a view or two. And right now, I would definitely say that on this restart, you can see the difference in where everyone's at here. Robert Kahn literally back behind a few drivers, so he's back behind Todd Tufts and them because they are laps down at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, what goes down on the restart, because with the amount of drivers and the way they're positioned out and how they are, yeah, it could hurt them more than they realize. They're going to have to be very, very careful on this go. Showing off the best times right now. Here was the best time they had here, best time currently with those 22s. And the 22.62 seems to be the one that reigns supreme. So Bob Hutchings actually did manage to get that in. Will that last for a while and last him the whole night? We'll see here as we load them on up for the green flag restart here. Leading the way, showing the pace. The green flag is out. Well, back on the restart, the Toyota Tundra, Bob Hutchings is going to have his way out of this one, but Keith Checkmate Taylor and Jeffrey Oaks having a little bit of a fever pitch or two right behind him, though. You can see in the back of the pack here, a lot of hard runs and hard racing from the rest of the field. Brian Healy in the 83 all over the place, trying to get settled in. Whoa! And Todd Tuss almost getting right into Robert Kahn, and that looks familiar. Looks like that looks something from Bristol, if I remember right. The only difference is the shoe was on the other foot. Todd Tuss managing not to get into Robert Kahn, but I guarantee you Todd has not forgotten what happened on the restart back in Bristol. If you're wondering, you can go back and watch the whole show from either on our Facebook or on the YouTube end of the spectrum. But if you're wanting the cliff notes, we had a green-white checker where Cindy the Closer Taylor finally ended her first, not winning a single race in the league. And on that restart, Robert Kahn had to go in pit road, start all the way from the tail. And he just put a footful and a half to the end to try to get up to her. But it wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough chances at it. Costing him his chance at a victory and leading pretty much a good chunk of the race. But he said to me right after that race, he's like, I swear I will not, try and go and wreck people like that ever again. I don't want to be known for that. But at the same time, I mean, I've seen him get extremely aggressive when he has to and try to really hammer down when he needs to. That's kind of the whole point of why we race around here. And Todd Tuss, well, he's going to be a lap down if Kern gets past him. That's why he's trying not to fall back any more than he already is. He wants to get back up ahead. Bob currently the man they're all gunning for here between Kern and Bob. It's about a 3 and an 8 second gap here between one another. Keith Checkmate Taylor right now looking to possibly come up a little bit more to Bob Hutchings. Bob actually didn't get a start on the race at the beginning here. He actually had a start in pit road. Managed to hang it tight for a little while, and I think it actually did him good strategy, and maybe really helped him out for later on. Keith Checkmate Taylor, even though you can't see the number on it, it is a number 8 machine. Not really sure why we still can't see the number. I believe that has something to do with the custom scheme numbers on around here, but that's just kind of how they play out sometimes. So, well, speaking of playing out, looks like the rattlesnake Robert Kahn wants to come to play a little bit because he makes a big move around Jeffrey Oaks, putting him another good position back here in the pace. He's already 2 laps down at the moment. Right now, the ones that are only a lap down be Cindy, Taylor, Jeffrey Todd Tuss, Jason Wright, Matthew Hopper. 2 or more is Jeffrey Oaks, Chantel Pottle, and Brian Healy. And you saw on that restart, Brian Healy, man, just had absolutely all sorts of struggles and couldn't get anything going there. Moving their way through the field right now, still everybody going at their leisure pace. Everyone just kind of stay nice and cool under the pressure. But you got to wonder how long that exactly is going to last here. Dover is not a track you just go and mess around with if you feel like it. This is a track that commands respect and commands decency around here, that is for sure. Trying out our new onboard cameras here as we well go here. You see the old throttle being hunted down by a little closer here as the 7 goes up, down low. It looks like it's closing time here at the Dover International Speedway because Cindy just moves in and takes it away. And Nick Kern falls right behind the throttle there. Chantel backs off, lets him go. Smart driving and good sportsmanship on her end, but you can see Nick Kern, man, he is just full-on throttle assault charging this one around. He wants absolutely nothing but inspection here tonight. As you see the battle for third between these drivers here. Nick Kern currently still way behind the field. He's got about got about 2 and a 6-second gap between him and Kahn. That's one thing you're going to see play out as time goes on here. I know they got a little bit of a confusion on the leaderboard there. Bob now has about a 6 1/4, about a 0.67, 0.68 now, about a 7/10 of a second gap away from Keith. Keith's still not giving up though, man. He's fighting. Gotta give credit where credit's due to him, but unfortunately, I hate saying it, but there's a rattlesnake slinking around here. We're about halfway through this one, and with that old rattlesnake, Robert Kahn pushing closer up there to Keith's checkmate Taylor. You gotta wonder what's gonna happen around here. Will he be able to gain the position, gain the ground up? Because there's still a lot of breathing room to go through here. Jason Reif and Matthew Hoffer going at a little bit of a leisurely pace here, having a little bit of fun. Hoffer already way ahead of Reif here, as you see Kahn just starting to move closer up to Keith. Keith isn't exactly running away from it. I think Kahn was just kind of saving his tires here for a little bit. Track kind of paced around here. Everyone just kind of doing their own leisure, if you will. You can take a good look at the blimp cam here. Take a look at this track here, folks. There's a reason why they nicknamed this track the Monster Mile. This is only 1 mile in length, but the turns and the bankings of the front stretch and the back stretch are all completely changed and progressive in their area of play. So there's no straight end turns here or any straight end runs. It's really all progressive, and it literally pertains to making sure you make the right moves at the right time. If you had multiple drivers out here, this track would be, well, in my opinion, probably be a very tough short track to really master and really take on. There's always 2 lingering issues though around here, and that's what you see with Jeffrey Todd Tubbs almost going into, and then the other being passing. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you go on board right now with Todd Tubbs, take a look at this. Again, I was talking about this earlier, but when you come out of those exits, your goal is to try to get it close to that wall off that exit to gain more momentum to run, and then as you come off those entries, what you're trying to do is you go downhill to basically push it forward and let the truck just kind of drift off that exit like we said earlier. But there is another problem around here, and that's passing. It really is very difficult to make good, clear-cut passes when really the middle line has nothing to gain, and the bottom line is very easy to overdo and overcorrect. So when you're in the middle section, there's only one way to make a pass from the bottom end, and that literally is to just stay nice and even keel on the momentum and making sure the truck doesn't drift up and get out of control. If it gets out of control at any time, it's game over, and it's not pretty at all. See the distance right now between these two here, between Keith and Kahn here. It looks like checkmate falling just a little bit more back. Kahn is getting in pretty quickly. I think that tire saving method really is starting to be put into good use. Keith's not done yet though, man. He's not going to quit just yet on it. But it just looks like more and more like Kahn is going to have something to say about that and have a little run or two at it. Matthew Hoffer and Todd Tubbs, the only ones that are really anywhere near each other by about a 2-second gap in between, which doesn't sound like a lot, but again, that's definitely a lot. Back to the onboard camera right now here. Checkmate desperately trying to just keep Kahn away from him and keep him away from his run, but you can just see how smooth Kahn is off those runs. And you hear how hard Keith is fighting that truck just to keep it from spinning out or getting too loose. When you hear that little like as they kind of pull in and a little bit force them in, that means what they're doing is they're getting off the throttle a little bit sooner or a little later so they can set the truck back up, keep it straight. If you are going sideways at any point or the truck is not staying straight on those exits, well, then it's a nightmare to try to figure out how to save it here. Dover is not friendly, and Miles the Monster is waiting for another victim. He's already taken Brian Healy out. He waits for his next client to come through. Looks like Kahn might have something here for Keith as they're going to ring it around turn 3. Side by side down out of turn 3. Back into turn 4 they will go. The rattlesnake now sneaks his way. Little slippery devil he is. but it's not to be. Checkmate is not done yet. But again, remember what I said about that middle line? Yeah, that's no man's land. Keith's got to try to pull across over here. He doesn't have enough momentum. He's gonna have to try. He's gonna now have to get a draft and hope for a best. There's only one way to really work around here, and that's crossover and make sure that you don't let the other driver get ahead of you. Colin was very smart, and he is literally just making those rear end tires grip completely, and the front end is just doing the same. You see the 54 at this pipe going back into pit road, getting a little bit of a fresh set of Goodyears, just squeeze of gas, if you will. Kind of the reason why I was late to work here today. Unfortunately, we had to fill up the old RV around here and get things taken care of. The Dirty Mo Radio 77 iRacing machine here. Bob Hutchins in the onboard camera. You can just see the distance he is away from Robert Kahn. It is 4 seconds, literally, almost 5 seconds from Keith, and 5 1/8, I should say, from Nick Kern. Pretty crazy to say the least. Wait a minute, a little bit of smoke coming out. Todd Tufts, once again, there is problems for him, so no caution came out because of it, so that means one thing. We're going to go to the PTM Instant Replay and figure out what the heck happened to him here. Let's take another look at it here and see what went wrong on his end, and we're getting word right now that Brian Healy has unfortunately left as well. He cannot get the motor to work at all on his end. It's coming out of turn 4. Todd just overdrives it. Gives Chantel a little bit of a bump too there, and both drivers taking a nice nudge out of it. The throttle has a lot of damage on the front, but you can see Todd, man, he is just damaged up beyond repair on that one. He's going to have to get in and use an instant repair, unfortunately. And that was your PTM Instant Replay, brought to you by our good friends over at Maconi Setup Shop, Matt Mills Racing, Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, SimRacingVerse.com, Grid Finder, the ButtKicker Company, FUGPC.net, Brandon Minnick, Sim Racing, Pottlez Wrapz, and GreenTech Energy. Now then, back onto the show we go, and Con right now, pretty much the only driver that's been kind of making this look a little easier than anything else. Unless you count what Nick Kern did a little while ago when he was starting to really push it a little bit harder out there. As caution comes out once more here, now that will initiate stage number 2. So we have stage 2 wrapped up, which means we have a final stage coming up. Now again, there are no points for winning the stages, but they do set it up to where basically you can just kind of set yourself up for greatness by winning these stages, because again, the reason why they do the stages is to make sure that everyone has a fair shake of things and they have a fair race. And also, for television wise, it makes for some good stuff as well. Obviously, this is entertaining to begin with as it is, but I will say, like I said, I know there's critics out there on both sides, but I will say to the end of my days, I personally prefer the stage racing, because at least there you can have short runs and long run battles depending on how you set it up. And really, to me, it keeps the viewer invested as long as everybody's willing to put up a fight and put on a show. Do I agree with the cautions necessarily? Depends. It really just depends on the track. For me personally, with those long tracks, I do agree with them, but I would say it's not right to just go and wreck your stuff up really when it's stage 1 or stage 2 is, as you see some of those NASCAR guys have done. So, but nevertheless, folks, we're going to go ahead and cut to another quick commercial message real quick. So when we return, we're going to finish this one out and get the stream on the road. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these quick commercial messages.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I started trying them over the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at FEGPC.net.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in Irish. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, as we are settling up, the pace truck comes off out of turn 4. We're getting ready to go back racing here. Up on the spot, 75 laps. Now we'll be in the book. We're looking to get to 110. Green flag flies out. We are back underway. And this could be an interesting situation now. 6 drivers are on the lead lap for last, and Robert Kahn has finally got back from Bob Hutchins, so an old rivalry may just be revisited here on the restart as the 43 SCP Chevrolet Silverado going to go right up there with Bob Hutchins here. Only 10 drivers left in this field, unfortunately, because of some mechanical failures and issues around here. Ronnie Christensen rooting on in for some great racing tonight. It's good to watch some great racing. Yes, it is, sir. On right now, having a little bit of a peek at the door panel there. Bob looks like he might try to go down low on him quickly here, but Bob is doing a great job defending him here. It's a hard pack battle for the lead right now. Cindy the Closer Taylor trying to maybe close back in, but she's got some company in front. 2 lap cars, Chantel and Jeffrey right in front of her. Now Kern looked like he got a little bit of a push or two going. He's doing a nice job kind of keeping his pace and keeping it steady. The old Toyota 69 machine, after what he did there in the final closing lap of stage 1, I thought might have had a lot better here of a run. What he was doing there from the start point, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Well, he certainly is charged and doing what he has to here, but laps are definitely winding down and they're running out of time. They're fast approaching, only 30 laps to go, and they know if once it gets that point, gets that time, it's game over. It looks like Ethan Hype is actually out as well. So the SLM champion right now currently will not be able to finish with the truck series tonight. And if you're wondering also, like, what were these guys were last week? Well, we weren't racing last week. We had the old Easter to deal with there on that time. It was Easter Sunday that night, so we decided not. So they decided to let the drivers go with their families, be relaxed and all that. And definitely was a nice gesture of them to be able to do that for them. But I will say it was definitely a missed out to see the races and see the battles here. The trucks always pull off. And currently, right now, Robert Kahn, the SCP-43, has just been completely hammer it down, hammer it in. But Bob Hutchins kind of falling back in line, falling into position. Robert Kahn right now trying to possibly sway his spot in, trying to sway his momentum up to the grid. Bob and Kahn right now doing a pretty good job with each other, but it hasn't been much of else. Robert looking to the inside once more, but Bob, you can just see it though, man. There's no grip down there when you get in that line, because there's just the way you're presenting it down, forcing it in that quickly. You just can't naturally let the truck kind of slide in and build up momentum. And Bob, the reason why Hutchins is blocking so much is because he knows if he gives an opening to Kahn like he's about to do right now, Kahn can make that maneuver and make it work. And that's the reason why you don't want to go that low that quickly, is because you can drift up a little bit. But I'm surprised that Hutchins is able to keep it there where he's been so far. But you can just see Kahn is right there in it. Neither one making a mistake so far, neither one giving up any chances, but it's just, I think it's a matter of time. Bob's burning those tires up quickly. They'll pace him back around right now. Matthew Hopper, one of the only other drivers that is on the lead lap here, and he's currently the last one on the lead lap. Well, definitely has a little bit of kinks or two to work out, and has a little bit of some equipment to adjust to. That is for sure. And Jeffrey Oaks right now, well, I think he kind of said it best to me tonight. This track is just not for him. Feels like he always has something he can pull off here on the show, but something he can run with. But like I said before, I just don't think he's just really looking that comfortable and looking that stable here. Looks like Kahn's actually backed off a little bit here, but there's just one problem. The more he backs off, the more he's given a chance up to Nick Kern to catch up. Here comes Kern. Kern telling Robert Kahn it's time to feel the burn. He has getting the 69 Sparco machine up there with him. The Sparco Toyota Tundra right now is right there up on the panel, right on that line of sight. He's got Kahn right there in front of him. He's making it quick. He's making it work. About taking my camera with it while he's at it. They pace him back around once more. Keith Checkmate Taylor. Actually, I forgot to mention him. He has been right there with Kern and Kahn the whole night. And so far, he is right there at it once more. Bob Hutchins got to be loving every minute of this, knowing these three are going to go at it. Kern to the inside right now is going to make the charge, but how much does he burn those tires up? I don't think he really cares at this point. Jack May and him going to go right into it there, make them ass around Kahn. No grip, nothing. He's either saving those tires up or he burns them pretty quickly. The other way, there's nothing going for him on this end. Keith has a run in nice position there, plays it out beautifully. Kahn gets the daily double in reverse. So what do we call that? The daily double trouble? No, I think we got to keep away from double trouble. Otherwise, I might not hear it. I might hear the end of Aaron's triple when he comes back onto the show. Cindy the Closer Taylor trying to get back up there with him as we're running through our cameras right now. This is the gyro cam he got, or the roll cage cam as we like to call it. One thing you also kind of notice here, right there, you hear how hard Cindy is off that throttle. That means she's trying to save fuel and not let it burn in too much. When you clutch in like that, basically what it does is it shuts off all power to the engine. So the engine cannot take fuel in, it cannot take anything off it. But there is one downside to it though, is that when you do that, you have to make sure you are very precise in the entry and in the turns to make sure the truck does not get loose or tight off you. Short track racing, it can be a bit of a handful to do, if you know what I mean, because it can just basically be one little slip up, one little spot, and all of a sudden you're gone here. Taking a look at our lap times right now. Let's see what we got here. Nick Kern, despite the fact he had two really good laps there, Hutchins is still maintaining his lead and actually got it back from him on the last 2 laps, 91 and 92. Let's see what happens here on 93. This will be interesting. With only 17 laps to go, this to me is going to tell a tale. Is Hutchings going to be able to stay ahead of Kern for the remainder of this race, or will he have something left for him? Oh, it looks like Kern means you get a 300s off that, so I would say, you know, he has something left in the tank. He's not exactly giving up just yet. I'll tell you, one driver though, he ain't giving up either, and you can actually hear it too. Keep checking my tail. You actually hear that motor go kind of gargling out in between. That means he is getting on the clutch quickly as well, trying to save up some fuel. 3 drivers out of this one. Todd Tubbs, give him credit for it too. At least he's still fighting, trying to do something with the truck, but it just definitely is not his night tonight. Robert Kahn now falling back in with Jeffrey Oaks here. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, I thought maybe something was not right there with Kahn, and he is not gonna save that tire up all the way through. He has to go into pit road, and that's gonna cost him. 15 laps remain. Kathleen Crawford saying hashtag Team Rattlesnake. Kathleen rooting on the man, the Rattlesnake himself, the Robert Kahn, but currently he is in pit road, so this will be interesting to see how this one finishes out. Down to the final 14 laps here, as currently the lead between each other. Keith Checkmate Taylor about 2 seconds back from Hutchings, and Kern, well, he's about 1.7 seconds away from him. It doesn't appear that he's gaining any ground on him, and it looks like actually Bob's starting to pull away just a slight bit more here. It's interesting how he's been playing that strategy all night long, but that fuel run, we were well aware that was going to be a bit of a troublesome. It was going to be a bit of an offshoot, and wait a minute, there's trouble down there for the Rattlesnake. He has gone into the grass. He opened up his own lawn care service. Major problems for the Rattlesnake. And that might have just ended his possibility or chances of anywhere getting back into this one. What on earth happened here? Let's go and take a look at this one. Here we go. You can see him come off that line. Oh, he overdrove it right out. He spun the tires really badly there, and he just overpowered it, thinking he can get away with it. No, truck would not go and would not give. Yeah, that right now might have just been the death blow that he was not looking for at all. Final laps now here. We're coming in. We've got only 11 to go. Actually 10 to go here in just a minute. The gap is starting to increase, but Nick Kern is not exactly giving up just yet. He's still fighting. Wish we could have a heart monitor on some of these drivers, man. Just to figure out how much they're breathing down there. Ken Crawford saying, let's go Nick, trying to root on Kern, get him back up into this one. Nick Kern is yet to win here on PTM Racing TV, and I know he would love to change that very soon. Will it be tonight? Well, if it's going to be tonight, he needs to get things figured out quicker because Hutchings is just running away from him on the straightaways. Cindy the Closer Taylor currently in fourth with Keith Checkmate Taylor right ahead of her by about 5 and a 6 second lead. Back on board we go here with Keith Checkmate Taylor. You see the number 20 of Jeffrey Oaks. Right hand line of sight, just 2 different angles and 2 different views. This is what the drivers are seeing right now when they go around those tracks. Although to be honest, some of them do take the wheels off on these things when they are actually in the sim. So what you see may not be the same thing that they're seeing. The only reason we have our wheel on is because, well, I race with the wheel on, to be honest with you. And the other is, well, because it's easier for you fans at home to figure out what they're doing down there rather than having to keep turning that on and off. So if you are wondering, yes, you can turn the wheels off on these things and make sure you only see the dashboard and you can move actually the cockpits around. That's what makes this. That's what makes iRacing so unique and flavorful when it comes to what you can do with it. Barry Johnson right now saying, let's go 54. Well, right now, might have a shot at this. Wait a minute. Bob is slowing down big time here. Oh my, this is just major implications here. We're coming up to the final 5 laps. Kahn almost gets into the 69 there. Hutchins is slowing down big time. McCurran tries to get Kahn out of there. Crossover out of turn 2. Khan's going to try to full throttle around and get back in this, but he's 2 laps down. Bob is in major trouble. He's got Todd right in front of him. Oh my, this just turned into a race to the end. It's a drag race to the finish. Hutchins is trying to run a sprint while Kern's running a marathon, but he's blocked in by Todd Tuss for a slight second there. Todd goes to the bottom. That's not where Kern wants him. He's got to get down there quickly. He had a chance. He had a run or two there coming. Now he's going to build it back up. Does he have enough time, though, because of Todd Tuss blocking him? He will now maintain position and maintain the run off of it. Oh, my. You can see how far Bob is away from him. Bob knows he's in trouble. He overdid the truck. He was running those laps in quickly and hard. There's the death blow. Wait a minute. Bob goes up. Bob went up a little bit. He goes into pit road. We have a new leader. Nick Kern, the 69, has only 3 laps remaining to finish this one out. But did he save enough fuel? Does he have enough time to win this? Key Checkmate Taylor's not out of this one yet either. He's getting closer, about a 1.3 seconds. That's not much after what Kern just did. And Nick Kern, oh, is it happening? It's happening. He's going to pit road. The fuel strategy got him. Checkmate is going with 2 to go. What a crazy situation of events. The fuel run got 2 drivers. Will it get a third? And can Cindy somehow, someway pull this one out? Oh my, no cautions other than the stages. And Checkmate, he just needs now to complete 4 more turns. Even if he's literally on the last bit of fuel, I would just gun for him, man. 1 lap to go. This is it. Can he hold on? He hasn't won on the Truck Series. He hasn't won here on PTM Racing TV for quite some time. The man that ended a streak in the Legend Series. The driver that took down the best in Pushing Limits Racing League in the 87s. And now he's going to be the driver at Dover who literally runs out of fuel on the last lap out of turn 4. He ran out of fuel. Keith Cindy's trying to hurry, but it's not enough. Keith will barely edge her out by 3.2 seconds. Unbelievable. Wow, what an insane finish. The fuel strategy was what came into play tonight. And Keith Checkmate Taylor somehow, some way, by a miracle, I don't know how, he ran out of fuel in turn 3. Cindy just needed 2 more turns and it would have been hers. Unreal. And that's just Robert Kahn's way of saying congratulations, buddy. You managed to survive it out. Miles the Monster did not take out too many drivers, but he did definitely go after the fuel runs here tonight. But Keith Checkmate Taylor, once again, it's been a while since we've seen him here. He's going to victory lane. He's going to victory. He's going into pit road to celebrate. His family is already waiting for him down there, getting ready to get some love in between. But oh my folks, that might have been one of the craziest finishes we've seen on a fuel run strategy in a long, long time. But Keith, by God damn it, he did it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And I think he was trying to park into the pit road there. I think he was trying to go into victory lane, but I don't think they let him in there. So they just said, just put it in pit road, dude. What an insane... I don't even know how to call that one, man. That's nuts. Well, we have a job to finish up, though. So here it is. This is your final results. The Pottlez Wrapz race results are now in. It's Keith Checkmate Taylor by a miracle and by 3.215 seconds is managing to come away with the victory thanks to his fuel strategy run. Cindy the Closer Taylor coming in a second place respectfully for her strategies. Matthew Hoffert, give credit where credit's due. The guy, he literally backed off on so many runs, so many battles. He was in the back for a while and just managed to make it last. 4th goes to Robert the Rattlesnake Kahn, unfortunately, because of his mishap there with the turn. Might have cost him a chance at victory. 5th goes to Bob Hutchings here, and 6th will go to Nick Kern. Tough break for Bob and Mick, man. Those guys, honestly, in my opinion, could have been your victory lane contenders. Jeffrey Oaks fought to the end, but just couldn't get it figured out. Chantel, we'll give her a break. She's working on some new equipment down there. 9th goes to Jeffrey Todd Tufts here. After all the hardships and wrecks he got into, it's honestly great to see him finish it out. Jason Reif blew the motor. Brian Healy, motor blown, and Warren Young, motor blown as well, unfortunately, and that ends up costing them their nights. As we finish it out now, let's go ahead and take it down to the on-call list and take it down to pit road where our drivers are waiting for us. The top 3 are here with me now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring them in. He now joins me here from pit road here. Your third place finisher here tonight, Matthew Hoffert in the 84. And Matthew, you know, honestly, at the beginning of this race, I didn't think you really had much going on or what your plan was, but looked like it worked out at the end for you to get a third place finish.
Yeah, it was all about saving the equipment. Stage 1, wore the tires out. Lucky I didn't blow out the right front. Stage 2, I ended up, saving the tires pretty good to make it through the stage, but, run out of fuel. And stage 3, clutching it in the turns, trying to save fuel, and I saved just enough to pick up third.
For sure there. I mean, what was the hardest part about Dover besides maybe just kind of managing the truck out at this one here tonight?
Definitely corner exit, especially off of turn 4. That wall comes up mighty fast, and if you're laying into it, you're gonna smash up the right side of the truck. That was one of the tougher parts.
For sure there, but you managed to not do that and managed to keep it nice and clean and all the way through to the end. So, man, I got to ask you this, but who do you want to thank you for this finish tonight?
Family, friends watching at home, thank you making this possible. PTM Racing TV, excellent broadcasting as always. PTM Racing League for putting this league on. All the racers tonight, great job. Congratulations. Congratulations, Keith, for the good win. And all of our many sponsors. And looking forward to next week.
For sure there. Appreciate the time to talk with us here. Matthew, congratulations on a third place finish here tonight, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here tonight, Matthew Hoffert in the old 84 machine. We're going to go ahead and give the second place finisher a little love or two here. Cindy the Closer Taylor. The Orange City, Florida gal managing to pull off a little bit of a run or two and just didn't have enough time. Her brother Keith gets her on this one, but I definitely could say those two will have a little talk or two about sibling rivalries when that comes to be. Those two just always have a rivalry going. But now, it's been a while since we've seen him, but he joins me in victory lane. It's Keith Checkmate Taylor, and I got to believe that fuel strategy saved your race and saved your night, man.
Hey, absolutely. I'm still shocked I won, to be honest with you. I didn't even know I won. I had it on the fuel box, just watching the fuel, and Oaks was like, congrats, man. I was still in 3, and I was out of gas. I was like, well, I'm out of gas. And then I looked back at stands, and I was like, oh, man, I won. Yeah, I started from the beginning just clutching it. I mean, some say a sixth sense or something, but I don't know. I usually don't a lot, but for whatever reason I did, and it paid off.
It paid off. It worked well in your favor and kept it going to the end. And it's crazy, man. I was calling it here on the show, and I'm like, Bob's going in. He's probably ran out of fuel. Next thing you know, I see Nick Kernsick lead. He runs out of fuel, and I'm like, Keith's gonna. I was saying right before it, actually, Keith had a chance. That was the first thing I said was Keith has a chance. He's still in this. As soon as Nick went in, I was like, there you go. And I was thinking, well, maybe I'm gonna give you the broadcaster curse because as soon as you land out, it took fuel in turn 3 into 4. And I thought your sister was coming for you, but that had to have been one of the craziest finishes to kind of go around and deal with. What was your main feeling with this one here tonight? How did you go from 0 to 0 all of a sudden in just this last few laps?
Stop beating myself up. That's the most thing that I do is beat myself up in a race. And I started off early beating myself up, hitting the wall, and I cleaned it up at the end, and it paid off. It
paid off indeed, and I didn't mean 0. I meant 0 to hero, not a 0 to 0, folks. My bad. Anyway, I'm about perfect on every broadcast, man. Everyone knows that by now, but. Keith, man, I gotta ask you. You're finally putting this bad boy into victory lane for the very first time in a long time in the truck series. Who do you want to thank you for this one?
God first and foremost. My wife Whitney, my family, my son. I always loved racing. He loves watching me race. He's asleep now, but I love him more than anything. Maconi Setup Shop, Matt Mills, Bob's Customs, Pottlez Wrapz, GreenTech Energy. The Ford Entertainment Group, the Racing Merch, SRM, Grid Finder, and the Ford Entertainment Group, and you and PTM Racing. You guys put on a good broadcast every week, and we appreciate it. We really do.
For sure there. Nevertheless, Keith, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us down here in Victory Lane. Go celebrate with the family and friends, and we'll catch you next time on the show.
Checkmate. Appreciate it.
Old checkmate to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight, Keith Checkmate Taylor in the number 8. And that wraps it up for your evening here tonight. So for all of us here at PTM Racing TV, we want to give a shout out to Maconi Setup Shop, to Matt Mills Racing Team, to Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, to SimRacingMerch.com, to GridFinder.com, to the ButtKicker Company, to FEGPC.net, to Brandon Minnick Sim Racing, to Pottlez Wrapz, and of course, to GreenTech Energy. Thank you again for everything. Thank you again for all the help and love you've brought to us here and helped out with these drivers, giving them a chance. And from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, I have been your host, Chris the Crusader. I am signing off for the night. I'm heading to my shadow realm as you can see the stars flying in the guard. But for now, be safe. God bless. Take care. We'll catch you tomorrow night with a doubleheader. We love you all. Be safe. Good luck, everyone, and see you next time when the green flag flies on PTM Racing TV.